City regions can be identified as patients and city regions of problems, but what we don't do is diagnose those problems. So we need to develop a diagnostic approach to city regions that will identify where policy needs to intervene to produce better outcomes for people. So if we have a situation where one part of a city region system fails, you either have a major difficulty or you have a system that's designed to have within it some degree of operational slack. If it's complete failure, you may have an alternative system in place. So if roads cannot be used, you may have rail or you may have footpaths. In either case, you don't have that additional capacity. You're going to go through a particular form of extreme crisis. So for Birmingham, extreme shocks tend to be inappropriately prepared for because they occur every 5 years, every 10 years, every 50 years. So as a consequence, when a shock emerges, it's a crisis moment. Now, if we think about Nairobi, every day that city and its citizens are experiencing continual shocks. Because they're everyday events, they're not seen as major problems, and local adaptations have emerged on the part of individuals, households, companies and politicians to cope with that. So different parts of the world have different types of shock and different types of adaptation. Take Birmingham, we could take Nairobi, we could take New Delhi. How do we think about their current needs and their future needs? And that's reflecting two things, the problems of the now and the problems of the future. The first thing is making sure that those regions have the connectivity needed to meet the needs of their people and their industry. The second is well-educated citizens. They need to be innovative, they need to be entrepreneurial. And the third thing we need is some degree of stability. The economies that do extremely well, their strategies tend to change every 50 years, every 40 years. So continuity and stability of the wider framework conditions that support a city region, absolutely critical, combined with education, combined with appropriate connectivity. We don't know causes and consequences and interventions that need to go on within Nairobi, Kampala and Addis Ababa in the context of air quality and environmental pollution. This is where diagnosis comes in. It will identify the different systems that are occurring within the cities that need to have some degree of intervention. But any solution to air quality is going to be a cross-system solution. So every time you buy something, you create jobs, you sustain jobs, or you destroy jobs. And as the demography of a city changes, as it ages, as it becomes more diverse, the ways in which people, individual households are consuming changes, that impacts on the structure and functioning of that city region economy. Medicine has identified and is still in identifying the variables that we need to use to measure the health of the human body. We have very limited understanding at the moment of the variables we need to use to measure the health of a city region. There's going to be another 10, 15, 50 years of research before we have a full understanding to the ways in which we could engage in effective and full urban diagnostics.